Good morning, everybody. This is Nicole Mangina with Windermere Real Estate, and you are listening to the 425 Show, your place to be for all things real estate and lifestyle related here on the East Side. We've got a fantastic guest with us this morning. Hi, how are you, Rob?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We've got Rob Rosemont here. He is the owner of the Roadhouse Restaurant and Bar and Inn. You actually have a hotel as well out in Fall City.
We do. We have it's a restaurant downstairs and a 6-room inn upstairs.
Perfect. Thanks. Well, I'm so excited to have you here today. Like I said in my email, when I was looking at, okay, gosh, who would be perfect to have on the show right about now? I just knew you, and to talk about Fall City and the Roadhouse would be great for lots of reasons. It's summertime. You've got this river there in Fall City. There's lots of fun things to do there. And you're totally affiliated with Twin Peaks. And you have Twin Peaks Fest coming up. So we have a lot to talk about today.
We do, yeah. Summer in the Snoqualmie Valley is a great time out there.
Perfect. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the Roadhouse. And the Roadhouse has been around for, I looked it up, 102 years. It's been there a long time.
Yeah, the building was built 100 years ago.
Okay.
It was originally built, that was an old logging town. The loggers would come through, and so it was built as a tavern for the loggers originally.
Love it.
So
I bet there's some stories in that building.
I'm
if
sure
those
there
walls
are.
Could talk.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this upstairs was built 15 years later.
Okay.
As housing for the loggers, so that they could spend the night after they came through. And
probably
now
a good call.
It's gone through different times, but now it's a 6-room inn.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And you bought it a couple years ago, correct?
I did. I bought it 2 years ago.
Okay. And you retired. You were a high school teacher before.
I was. I taught high school history for 15 years.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I was at Skyline in Sammamish.
Okay. How fun.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a career change, going from high school teaching to restaurant owner.
So how did that come about?
Well, I'd been teaching for 15 years, and I love teaching, but teaching history's it's a little repetitive, you know.
Yeah.
The North still won the Civil War. You can't change history,
right.
so I just felt like I needed a change, and so I started looking for something different, and I stumbled across a listing for the Roadhouse being for sale. And I only live about 10 minutes away, so I had been there as a patron many times before, and
got it.
And so I thought that would be fun. That would be a good adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's been quite the adventure.
It has. A little bit of trial by fire at the beginning. You know, going from teaching to restaurant owner. I didn't have a lot of restaurant background. I was a busboy in high school.
Okay.
But, yeah. So I had that going for me. But other than that, it's just a lot of hard work and putting a lot of time and effort into it. But it's been great.
Great. What are some of the biggest changes that you have made to the Roadhouse since you've purchased it?
I think just a lot of upgrades. It's a great building. It's a beautiful building.
It's gorgeous. And it really anchors downtown Fall City.
It does. It's right on the corner there.
That is the premier building in Fall City.
It is. Yeah. It's right where the main roads come together, and it's right on the corner there. And the building, like you said, it's a beautiful 100-year-old building. It just needed some cosmetic upgrades, and so I've done that. New paint, wood floors, new signage, new menu. But a lot of it's just, being there. A lot of TLC and attention to detail, making sure the service is what our customers expect and that the quality of food is consistent every time it goes out. And I think people are noticing and enjoying it. So.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I would imagine you have a pretty loyal clientele of people who come in on a regular basis.
We do, from all over the place.
Yeah.
We have, locals. We have people that come out from Seattle every weekend. It's their weekend drive, and they come out to the Snoqualmie Valley. We have people who come and stay at the inn on a regular basis from all over. So, yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
Great. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, and if you don't know where the Roadhouse Inn is, it's in Fall City, but we will also have all of the information for this on the website after the show, NicoleMangina.com/podcast. So you can go out there. And this is one of the things I love about, real estate, especially on the East Side, is, as we were talking about before the show, I always say it's not about bedrooms and baths. It's about the people. It's about the businesses, all of those things that create the community for where we live. And there is such a wide variety of community options here on the East Side. You've got Bellevue, which is in theory, I suppose, a suburb of Seattle, but really a major city in its own right. You know, you've got Kirkland, feels like a little beach town. You've got the suburbs, and then you're out in Falls City, which is probably 20 minutes from here, and you feel like you are a whole world away. You've got the river, you've got, you know, this cute little downtown, you've got the Roadhouse, and then these larger lots. So people who want more space and kind of the whole country living aspect, it's right there for them.
Yeah,
And I just think that's amazing.
it's just a little kind of rural enclave between all the development that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fall City, because of the sewer hasn't come in yet. It's still
Right.
on septic, so the big developers can't come in and build it up. So you still have the farms, and you still have the small town feel.
Yeah.
So you can come out, and there's blueberry farms and
Yeah.
Rimlinger Farms is a big attraction out there.
I love that
in
place. I
area.
used to go all the time when the kids
With
were
the
little,
kids,
right?
yeah,
I mean, you can
it's-
pick the fruit, but they have those little amusement parks. And
You can ride the horses or the little rides and
Yes.
pick the fruit, and so that's kind of the small town feel of it. So,
yeah, it's great. In fact, I remember, you know, we used to take the boys to Remlinger Farm when they were little all the time, and they've got that little roller coaster, right? And so the boys used to ride the roller coaster, and then we went to Disneyland. And the oldest one, there's the one, I think it's California Screaming with the loop. Well, he was excited to do that, and he kind of waltzes up like this is no big deal because he's been on the Remlinger Farms roller
Right.
coaster. It was a very different
a little
experience.
different, a little bit different. Yeah,
I think he came off mildly traumatized.
yeah, it's a little bit of a change.
But yeah, no, we love Remlinger Farms.
It is.
That's
It's a
great.
it's a fun place. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and you've got great resources on your website as well. Again, we'll have this on my website as well. We'll link to it because there's so much to do in Falls City. You're right down the street from Snoqualmie Falls. So
That's right.
people can go do that. You can float the river in Falls City, which I always see the kids doing. In fact, our boys play baseball. I know your son plays as well. And I think we've got about 2 weeks left in our baseball season. And so I'm waiting for that to be done. And then we can
Get
come
out
out and
on the
start
river.
doing stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Fall City floating is great. It's right across the bridge from the Roadhouse, literally walking distance from the Roadhouse. And Fall City floating, you rent a tube and they put you in their shuttle van and they take you 3 miles up the river.
Uh-huh.
They drop you off and you float the 3 miles down and you get off where you started and your car's there waiting. You hand your tube in and you're done.
Yeah.
So it's really a great way to do it. So
It looks super fun, and
yeah.
they have little floaties for your coolers. They have ones for pets. Apparently, you can like get a special floatie and take your pet. I think we're gonna
probably
leave
so,
the
yeah,
dog at home for
yeah,
that. But I
yeah.
thought that was funny.
No, it's a great day, and we see a lot of floaters. You know, they come into the Roadhouse for brunch ahead of time,
Right.
because we do a lot of breakfast and lunch business. So
Do you?
they stop in for brunch to fuel up before the float, and then they go across the bridge and they float, and it's a great day out there.
I think that just sounds great.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, today I think it's like 80 or 90 degrees or something today.
This past weekend was crazy.
Oh,
It's,
I bet. Is
yeah.
it just packed?
Yes, if you're going to go floating on the weekend, you want to make a reservation.
Right, yeah,
because
that's what
you
they
can't,
said.
You can't walk in on the weekend, but weekdays you can. But on weekends or holidays, you have to make a reservation with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'll have to get on their website and check it out.
Yep, that's right.
Awesome. And then, so Twin Peaks Festival. Let's talk about that.
Okay, sure.
Because the Roadhouse, that was, and I have to admit, I did not watch Twin Peaks.
Sure.
So, but it was part of the show, right?
So in Twin Peaks, there is the Roadhouse.
Okay.
And the Roadhouse is the local bar and dance hall, basically.
Got it.
And so we are the Roadhouse in that just the exterior.
Okay.
Actually, the interior was done in a different location.
Okay.
So we are the exterior of the Roadhouse.
Uh-huh.
So we get a lot of Twin Peaks fans that come by, and you'll see them outside taking pictures of the
they?
building, and then stop in and check it out. And but a week and a half from now, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, is Twin Peaks Fest,
Okay.
where it's actually a planned event. You have to buy tickets for it.
Okay.
But 300 Twin Peaks fans from all over the world, literally all over the world,
Oh, wow.
come in to the Snoqualmie Valley and they celebrate Twin Peaks. So
Okay.
The show has a great following, even though it was originally on over 25 years ago.
Yeah, in like 1990.
1990,
Yes.
90 and 91. It was only on for 2 seasons originally.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
2 seasons.
They have such a big following.
It's interesting.
I would have
yeah.
expected it to have been longer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
But it has, some would call it a cult following
Uh-huh.
or whatever. But it has a loyal fan base.
Okay.
And they did a new season
Okay.
last year on Showtime.
Got it.
So
Okay.
just one season. And so Twin Peaks Fest is where 300 fans come together and celebrate the show, and the Roadhouse is a big part of that. So
That's awesome.
we host the kickoff party for the event, and then we host the closing party for the event.
Got
So,
it.
Yeah.
And is that like a dinner, or you said some of the actors come as well? Or?
Yes. So some of the actors are in town. That's a
Okay.
different part of it, where they actually have a kind of a meet and greet
Oh,
at
okay.
a different location with the
Got it.
actors. The events at the Roadhouse are more just for the fans who are coming into town to kind
Yeah.
of mix and mingle.
Got it.
Right at the beginning, get to know the other fans who have come into town.
Okay.
And then at the end, kind of to say goodbye to the new friends that they've met. So,
All right. And
yeah.
it lasts all weekends, like a Friday.
It's
to
from
Sunday?
Thursday to Sunday.
Oh, wow.
yes,
Okay.
Yep.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of Twin Peaks time.
Yeah.
So July 27th through the 29th, twinpeaksfest.com for all the information
Awesome.
there too. We're
Thanks,
10
Benny.
days, 16 minutes, and 59 seconds. It's counting
That's
down.
right.
Oh, I love it.
I got it right
Okay.
here.
I believe they're sold out for this year, but you can still check. Yeah.
Oh. Maybe you can like stand
you can-
across the street and like scope it out or something.
I don't think so. I
No,
don't think
stalkers,
so.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
stalkers,
But
okay.
you can check
Creepy.
it out online and
Okay.
prepare for 2019. You can get your plans.
Plan ahead.
Get your plan ahead. It's always the last weekend in July. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your inn is booked then.
It is.
people
It
staying at
is.
Twin
The
Peaks
inn books
Fest.
a year in advance for that. Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
open up reservations a year ahead of time, and typically by early August we're booked for the last weekend in July for the next year. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
great.
Yeah, you look at the inn guest, and we have somebody from Denmark and somebody from Italy, and people
Really?
coming in from. Like I said, it's an international event. So
I just
it's-
think that's
it's-
fascinating.
it
Sometimes
is.
I wish I had something I was that passionate about. I don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My husband's a big Springsteen fan, so he's super passionate about him, and he would fly anywhere in the world to go see him.
Okay.
I
yeah.
don't know that I have that, but that's okay.
Yeah, mine's probably baseball.
Yeah.
I've traveled around the country going to Major League Baseball stadiums.
Really?
So, yeah, I've dragged my family with me. We've been to 18 of the 30 so
Oh,
far.
what's your
so-
favorite one?
Favorite one is probably Wrigley Field, just for the history.
We love that one.
Yeah,
We did go there.
As far as the newer one goes, I love Camden Yards in
Mhm.
Baltimore. That's that's
okay.
a beautiful one. Fairly new. The new stadium down in San Diego is
I was just
beautiful.
going to say we went there
Yeah.
earlier this year, and I was blown away by how nice that stadium is.
Petco
Yes.
Park down in San Diego is a really
Amazing.
nice one.
The
yeah.
stadium, the food, everything. It's just
The
it's-
weather,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
there's that too.
Yeah, it's 70 and sunny. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong.
My
Yeah.
husband's a big baseball fan too, and I love to travel. And most of our conversations start with, "Hey, honey, we should go here. Why would we go there? That seems like a hassle." Well, we could catch whatever sporting events, usually a baseball game, when we're there. Oh, that sounds amazing. I'll get tickets tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
So I go to a lot of sporting events. We've been to Wrigley Field. We went to San Diego this year, and then Boston. We saw the
Okay.
Red Sox. We actually got to see the Red Sox play the Mariners
Okay.
when we were
great.
there a couple years ago.
Good.
So that helped with the sales pitch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good.
So, and it is fun. It's fun. They're so different, right? The old ones versus the new ones.
They
and Some
are.
of them have a
They are.
lot of history. Wrigley was an amazing field.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
just that whole, is it Wrigleyville or kind of the little area around it, right? Where they have all the
yeah.
restaurants and
It's
bars
a lot of fun. Yeah.
and stuff like that. Now, did you play baseball growing up as well?
I did through high school.
Okay.
Yeah. I always grew up in Southern California, and
Okay.
so I played baseball about 10 months out of the year because you can down
Right.
there. You don't have to go inside to hit. You
Yes.
can stay outside. So I grew up playing baseball, so still enjoy it. My son plays, and I enjoy watching him play.
Awesome.
So,
And what
yeah.
position does he play?
He's a pitcher.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, no pressure. That's a big deal.
Yeah, no,
That's awesome.
He enjoys it. Yeah, it's great. I was a pitcher also.
Were you?
So it's a lot, and my dad as well. So
I love
3
it.
generations of
pitchers.
Rosemont pitchers. That's right.
That's
yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
That's
fun.
great. Did you watch, speaking of baseball, the Home Run Derby last night?
I didn't catch it live because my son had a baseball game that I
Okay.
was at. I did see the kind of the results on
Yeah.
SportsCenter later on. So
Bryce Harper's dad pitched to him.
yeah,
I
that's
think
great.
he was not a pitcher.
Okay.
But it was
Yeah.
really
There's a little
sweet.
controversy around that right now, too.
Oh, is there?
He was pitching faster than the ball's supposed to land, and
Oh.
then they can serve up the next one, but he was speeding it up. To
Oh,
get his
okay.
pitches, so there's a little bit of
Oh, he got more pitches than
they're saying, but he still won, so he can't go back.
I missed that part.
Oh,
I don't know. I
okay.
just thought
Yeah.
it was sweet. His dad was pitching to him.
Hey, I'm in agreement with that,
I
too. I
thought
think
that was
that's awesome.
adorable. They had like
Experience,
special
yeah.
shoes on a
Sure.
shoe girl. I thought the whole thing was
It's a
great.
father's,
And-
it's a father-son thing.
Yeah.
We
And
know,
it
we
was
get
at his home stadium
was.
too.
Yeah.
So it was kind of meant to be.
Let him
I
have
think
it.
that's
Yeah,
adorable.
let him have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I thought it was very cute. So, and so you're from Southern California. How did you end up here in Washington State?
Went to school in San Diego at UC San Diego
Okay.
and met a beautiful young lady who
She is
ended up
beautiful.
being my wife.
Yep.
And she grew up in Bellevue. So
Okay.
she brought
True
me
love.
up here. That's right. Yeah. No, Los Angeles is a nice city to visit, but it wasn't where I pictured raising a family.
Right.
And so we decided Seattle would be the right place for us
Mhm.
to raise a family, and so it's been great.
Yeah.
I've been here 22 years now. So
Okay. That's great.
kind of a native.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that counts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I agree. I'm not native to here as well. My dad was in the Air Force, and we moved all over. And when we first moved here, I had not lived in the West, and I thought, oh, this is way up in the corner. There's no way this is going to go well. But I love it here, and especially as you said, with kids, I think there is no better place in the country to raise kids.
Yeah.
It's just from the I don't know how to say the weather. I don't know about that. I say that now because it's 80 degrees. I'm totally not saying that in March. But I just think we've got great schools, we've got good neighborhoods, we've got access to all kinds of things, especially for children. Because, there's arts, there's education, there's sports, there's athletics, right?
Right.
One of the things about Fall City is you're so close to the pass, Snoqualmie Pass, right? To go
Yeah.
skiing, and mountain biking and, rock climbing, all of those things are available to everybody, not just kids, but I think for children to be able to grow up in an area where lots of different things are available to them
That's right.
is fantastic.
That's right.
Right. And there's lots
Yeah.
of areas of the country where those things aren't an option.
Yeah, it's amazing. Fall City's exit 22 off of I-90, and so 20 miles to the west is the water, the sound,
Right.
and 30 miles to the east is the pass.
Yeah,
So
you're perfectly positioned.
So it's amazing. You can hop on I-90 and go one way or the other and be either at the water or at the mountains. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It's
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
What are some of your other favorite places in Fall City, the little downtown?
Yeah. So like you mentioned briefly earlier, we're only 3 miles from Snoqualmie Falls,
Right.
which is a beautiful place, and it has Salish Lodge there with the restaurants and everything to do out there. So, it's a lot of fun to take the family when they come up and visit. We always try to go out to the falls and
It's so pretty
and
out
go
there.
out there. Oh, it's beautiful, and it's so close to the city, but when you're out there, you feel like you're in a different spot. You're
Absolutely.
out in the mountains, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So the falls is a great place. There's a couple of golf courses that I enjoy playing
Oh,
right
yeah?
out there. They're just local public courses, but
Perfect.
yeah, it's fun. They're relatively inexpensive and beautiful views. So
Right.
you have Snoqualmie Falls course, and then you have the Twin Rivers course,
Oh, great.
which are right next to the Roadhouse there
Mhm.
on each side. So there's hiking and biking. There's the Snoqualmie Valley Trail.
Yes,
which
that is on my
right
list to
there.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trail runs. I think it's 30 miles, 40 miles. It runs
Oh,
all the way
wow.
from Duval to Snoqualmie, I believe.
Oh,
or
that's
maybe even out
fantastic.
to North Bend. But,
Okay.
yeah, you can go either direction, but we get a lot of people that come out and they're out for a day's adventure.
Mhm.
On a nice weather day, they come out and they hike or they bike and they
Yeah,
getting
coming for something to
outside.
eat.
Yeah. And it's a great place to go hiking or biking because, like you mentioned, it's more rural, so you don't feel like you're walking, with dodging cars and all that
Right.
sort of stuff.
Exactly.
So, So there's a lot of outside activity. Summer in Fall City is great.
It's
and
magical, I think.
And in the winter, it's a sleepy little town, and in the
Mhm.
summer, it's a bustling small town.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. It's fun to look outside and see all the people outside, floating the river or biking or just doing some sort golfing or doing
Mhm.
some sort of activity.
Yeah, that's great. I know those golf courses out there are great. My husband's a big golfer, and
Hmm.
that's another thing I like about this area. There's